So, what's the fastest way to choose the wrong Connecticut town? Well, I'm going to tell you it's moving somewhere because of a Zillow search or simply because niche.com said that the school system was at least an A minus. A beautiful house or an online school rating tells you almost nothing about what it's actually like to live here. The commute might be easy or it can be a complete nightmare. And the town could be exactly what you think you've always wanted or completely feel wrong for your lifestyle. You might want to be close to the shore, but your budget doesn't like the flood insurance that's going to be required. And nowhere is that more true than up and down the Connecticut River. Because within 30 miles, you can go from coastal beach community to a horse farm, through a historic village, all the way to a college town, and to a suburban commuter community. So today we're going to take a road trip. We're going to go up and down the Connecticut River. We're going to start off where the river meets Long Island Sound in Old Saybrook, and then we're going to head north through every major river town until we reach Cromwell. We'll talk about what each town feels like, who tends to move there, what makes it unique, and why so many people fall in love with the Connecticut River's Valley. By the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of which towns might be right for you. So let's get started. If you're new here, I'm Devon, a sale with Dave Jones Realty, and I help buyers and sellers throughout Middlesex County and Central Connecticut. I lived in Middletown for about 10 years. And one of the most common questions that I get is, what is the difference between all of the river towns? So on paper, they may look really similar to each other, but in reality, they are completely different. So let's start with the shoreline and we're going to work our way north. When most people think about Connecticut shoreline, Old Saybrook is one of the first places that comes to mind, and for a lot of really good reasons. This is where the Connecticut River empties into Long Island Sound. It's a place where boating isn't just a hobby, it is a complete lifestyle. It's also where Katharine Hepburn decided to spend the remaining days of her life, and she actually swam in the Long Island Sound almost every single day, year-round, from what we've been told. So in Old Saybrook, you're going to find marinas everywhere. People heading out fishing before the sunrise. You go out through the jetties and past the lighthouse. Sailboats are gliding through the harbor, and waterfront restaurants are going to be packed in the summer. I have to say that Old Saybrook is my happy place in Connecticut. I've been spending summers in Old Saybrook for the past 30 years, and I love how the town keeps its originality and charm, but also has a few new stores and updates and new build as well. Two of the oldest houses in Old Saybrook date back to the late 1600s, the William Parker House and the Elise Bushnell House. And for those of you who are into little-known history facts, Old Saybrook was actually the original location of Yale University back in 1701. There's a plaque on the side of the road along the appropriately named College Street. So one of the biggest advantages of Old Saybrook is its convenience. You are going to have your shoreline living without feeling completely isolated. The train station gives you direct access to New York and to Boston, next to a really, really good pizza place as well. And then Route 9 and I-95 make that commute manageable to all of the different areas of Connecticut. Shopping, healthcare, and dining are all going to be close by. And the town has like this relaxed feel, even during the busy summer months. People are going to be walking downtown. You're going to get ice cream. You're going to grab coffee, browse all of the local shops, and you're going to spend evenings by the water. There's a number of public beaches, but also you have private beaches as well. Your housing varies dramatically. You can find ranches and capes, but also luxury waterfront estates. There's condominiums, and there's a number of 55 plus communities and everything in between. The buyers I see drawn to Old Saybrook are often going to be retirees or empty nesters, and then also some remote workers due to the easy access to the train line and also to the major highways. Also, of course, anyone who dreams of waking up near the water. So what's the trade-off? You're going to pay for the lifestyle, but for many people, it's worth every single penny. Just across the river, you go way over the 95 bridge and you get to overlook the river and all the marinas that are around it, is Old Lyme. And this town has a completely different personality than Old Saybrook. It's known for its artistic history. In fact, it was one of America's most important art colonies. You can still feel the creative spirit and the vibe today. The town is elegant without feeling flashy. It's quiet, but not sleepy, and historic without feeling frozen in time. Many people move here because they want space. The lots tend to be larger on the north side of 95, and the roads feel a little more rural. And there's a strong commitment to preserving all of the natural beauty. Old Lyme offers beautiful beaches. You have access to nature, a lot of outdoor recreation, and some truly stunning homes. One thing buyers love is the balance. You can enjoy a peaceful environment while still being close to shoreline restaurants and the amenities. It's ideal for people who want a slower pace but don't want to feel completely disconnected. As you continue north, things become even more rural. It's hard to think about rural in Connecticut. And here you're going to find Lyme. This is where Connecticut starts to feel almost pastoral. You've got rolling hills, a lot of horse properties, those old stone walls that are dividing the old land. You have forests, winding country roads. But Lyme is not for everyone, and that's actually part of the appeal. People who move here seek privacy. They want acreage, they want quiet, and they want nature. You won't find a bustling downtown in Lyme, and you won't find heavy commercial development. What you'll find is peace and often quiet. Some of Connecticut's beautiful scenery can be found here, and especially during the fall. Driving through Lyme in October feels like driving through what would be on a postcard. And if your dream home includes land, gardens, animals, hiking trails, and room to breathe, Lyme deserves a really, really close look. Now we arrive at one of Connecticut's crown jewels, Essex. Now, there's a lot of Essexes in the country, but Essex, Connecticut is one of the first. This town consistently appears on lists of the most beautiful small towns in New England. It is a sailor's town. And after one visit, you're going to understand why. The downtown is stunning. It has historical buildings all along the streets with boutique shops that fill all of these storefronts. And the waterfront creates an atmosphere that's almost hard to replicate. Essex is charming for every single season. You've got summer that's bringing boat traffic and tourism, fall that's bringing spectacular foliage and festivals, and then winter turns the town into something that looks like a set on a holiday movie that you're going to find in Hallmark, which you will in multiple Hallmark movies. The Connecticut River Museum proudly sitting on the waterfront, and right around the corner is one of the first 8 buildings built in Essex, which is the Griswold Inn. To this day, the tavern has live music on the weekends and maintains the original charm from when it was built in 1776. It's one of the oldest inns still running in the United States. And one of the really cool things about that and the music that's playing is you can go and you can sing old songs that are going from way back when to today. And I will say that I've had the pleasure of singing at that tavern a number of times. Just they'll let people come up and sing with some of the bands. It's a fantastic place with old beer steins. Just a really great place to visit. You also have in Essex the Essex train, which remains one of the state's most beloved attractions. If you've never been on the train, especially during the holidays, you are missing out. They've got train rides all year long. They do dinners, they do murder mysteries, they do trivias, they do wine tastings, they do teas for the kids, and then during the holidays, you have your Santa train. It is amazing. It's called the North Pole Express. The entire town just feels incredibly well cared for. Next up is going to be Deep River. And this is a town that often surprises people. It doesn't always receive the attention that Essex or Old Saybrook would, but it's exactly why the residents love it. It feels authentic. It's local. It's unpretentious, as some of the other towns might be. This main street has restaurants, shops, and community gathering spaces. The town hosts events throughout the year, and the residents tend to be very involved in local activities. And one thing buyers appreciate is the value. Compared to some of the neighboring communities, your housing dollar can often stretch a lot further. For first-time buyers or young families or anyone looking for a strong sense of community, Deep River is definitely worth exploring. It's one of those places where neighbors still know each other, and that's actually becoming increasingly rare. Now let's talk about Chester. And Chester is one of my favorite downtowns anywhere in Connecticut. It is small, but it has enormous personality. You can walk through the downtown and find art galleries, restaurants, coffee shops, independent retailers, a brewery, and a level of charm that's hard to describe until you've actually walked it. It does attract a lot of artists, entrepreneurs, professionals, and people looking for something a little bit different. The famous Chester Farmers Market draws visitors from all over the region. The local food scene is exceptional, and you have to check out the Paddoconk 1850 Bar and Grill, which, in my opinion, has the best nachos in all of Connecticut. The community strongly supports all of the local businesses, and many buyers discover Chester kind of accidentally. But then when they do, they become obsessed with it. And that happens countless times. People are going to come for lunch and they're going to start browsing homes and walking around in the neighborhood, and then they stay. So now we're going to jump over to the other side of the river and check out East Haddam. East Haddam is fascinating because it is so diverse. It is a really, really large town geographically, so different areas feel completely different from one another. You have right on the river is the Goodspeed Opera House. You can see it from the boats. You can see it from the road. I just had my first experience at the Goodspeed. We went to the Gelston House beforehand, built in 1856, I believe, had lunch, and then went to the Goodspeed, which is just this old, fascinating playhouse, and saw a wonderful play there. They have plays year-round, and they have a wonderful setup for all of the actors that come in. Anywhere from Annie to White Christmas to Jesus Christ Superstar to a whole bunch of other amazing things. So the Goodspeed Opera House is definitely a place to check out. Even if you don't move to East Haddam, it's a place worth visiting. In East Haddam, you're also going to find a lot of lakes, wooded neighborhoods, historic homes, and of course, incredible river views. When you get up on some of those hills and you can look out over the river, it is just so amazing. It attracts people looking for space and character. So the town's going to feel really rural, but it's not completely isolated. The famous Swing Bridge creates one of Connecticut's most recognizable and somewhat pain in the butt river crossings. For many residents, crossing that bridge never loses its charm. And if you want scenery, privacy, and value, East Haddam often checks all of those boxes. So west of East Haddam, back over the river again, is going to be Haddam. And Haddam tends to be overshadowed by the neighboring towns, which is kind of unfortunate because it offers tremendous quality of life. The town combines river access, rural beauty, and convenience. Many properties sit on extremely generous lots, open spaces everywhere, and the Connecticut River remains a constant presence. Residents often describe Haddam just as peaceful. Not boring, just peaceful. There is a difference. People move here because they want breathing room, but they still want easy access to Middletown, Hartford, or shoreline destinations. So now we go back. We're zigzagging back and forth over the river, and we're going to cross back over, and we're going into Portland. This town has experienced a lot of growth and popularity. Portland offers one of the best combinations of affordability and location in Middlesex County. The town sits directly across the river from Middletown, which means residents can enjoy all the restaurants and entertainment of downtown Middletown while living in a quieter environment. The riverfront area continues to evolve. The brownstone history is fascinating, and the views across the river are beautiful. Many first-time buyers find Portland attractive because prices can sometimes be more approachable than nearby communities. The families appreciate the schools, and the commuters appreciate the location. The outdoor enthusiasts enjoy the trails and the recreation opportunities. Okay, so now we've arrived at the heart of the River Valley, Middletown. Which is my town. I've lived here for 10 years, and this is where everything really changes. So the previous towns we've discussed are primarily rural and village oriented. However, with the population of approximately 48,000 people, Middletown is a city that still feels very approachable. Main Street is one of the Connecticut's best downtown districts. You've got restaurants all up and down the streets. You have coffee shops that are going to stay busy year-round, day and night. Festivals happen throughout the year, and there's always something going on. Wesleyan University is going to actually add to that energy. So we have arts, culture, music, education. The housing options are incredibly diverse as well. You're going to have your historic Victorians, your classic colonials, condominiums over all the way in condo row, new construction, you have luxury homes, and then you also have starter homes. There's also a lot of multifamily properties in Middletown as well. So one of the biggest advantages is going to be its convenience. Healthcare, shopping, dining, and entertainment, everything is nearby. For many buyers, Middletown provides the perfect balance between small-town Connecticut and modern convenience. And finally, at the very top, we arrive in Cromwell. Cromwell is often chosen for one simple reason: its location. It offers outstanding access to Hartford, Middletown, New Haven, major highways, yet it still maintains a quieter suburban atmosphere. Golf fans know Cromwell because of the PGA Tour event hosted every year. But residents know it for something else: convenience. There's parks, shopping, healthcare, commuting access, strong neighborhoods, so everything just works together. For professionals and commuters, Cromwell can be one of the most practical choices in the River Valley. So what's remarkable about this journey is how much variety exists along a single river. You can start your day watching boats leave Old Saybrook Harbor. You're going to go north and spend lunch in Essex, and then you can tour Essex, and then you can tour a couple of homes in Chester, grab dinner in Middletown, and still be home before sunset. Every town has its own personality, its own culture, its own lifestyle. And that's what makes the Connecticut River Valley such a special place to live. So now I want to hear from you. Which town is your favorite? Which town surprised you the most? And if you already live along the Connecticut River, tell us what you love most about your hometown. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on any notifications so you never miss future Connecticut real estate and lifestyle videos. I'm Devon with Dave Jones Realty, and remember, we do everything but the packing.